Saturday, Iran fired 2 long-range missiles that crashed 20 miles from a merchant ship and 100 miles from the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Nimitz. The incident took place in the waters of the Indian Ocean, as further evidence of growing tensions between Iran and the United States. The U.S. Navy says the 100-mile distance is not a concern for them, but the 20-mile stretch is an alarming signal. However, the U.S. Navy does not see the 2 missiles launch as a direct threat to them. On January 5th, Iran began military exercises, including all military units of the Iranian Army Ground Forces and Air Forces. According to information from the Iranian Ministry of Defense, the training will take place in central Iran. According to the Iranian news agency IRNA, the practice will include hundreds of air operations with drones and a simulated attack on the U.S. super aircraft carrier USS Nimitz. On January 4th, Iranian Brigadier General Mohammad Hossein Dadras stated to state media that the country had become a regional superpower in recent years. The general also refers to the fact that Iran is a leading manufacturer of unmanned aerial vehicles in the region. The Army of the Islamic Republic of Iran always, following the threats of transregional states and enemies, takes initiatives to upgrade equipment and conduct military exercises, he also stressed. According to the general, the exercise will be a detailed battle with several possible scenarios and tactical instructions for monitoring, intelligence, and electronic warfare with the enemy. The Iranian units will perform the whole exercise between the 2 limits of the drone's operational capabilities, long and short distances. After the training, according to the general, Iran will present all the drones produced so far. Washington stated the decision to keep its aircraft carrier in the area. According to acting U.S. Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller, the duty aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf prevents possible Iranian provocations or hostilities. He also stressed that the ship's positioning responds to Iranian threats against the U.S. president and individual U.S. institutions without detail in his statement. Military analysts and sources from various government agencies say another reason for placing the USS Nimitz as an upcoming military exercise between the United States and partners in the region. Such a possibility is genuine and isn't a surprise. According to sources from the U.S. Department of Defense, such an exercise is forthcoming, and the 5th U.S. Navy stationed in Bahrain will lead it. Such a practice aims to ensure proper coordination of joint actions in response to attacks by enemy forces. UN lifted the arms embargo on Iran at the end of the last year, despite Washington's discontent, as we already reported. In recent years, Iran has managed to revive its arms industry and develop and manufacture local weapons systems. All of them are intending as a possible response to a possible American attack. After the UN lifted the arms embargo, Iran expects to begin talks with Russia and China this year to purchase various weapons systems. One possibility is the purchase of Russian S-400 anti-aircraft missile systems. Other sources say long-range missiles from Iran landed close to a commercial ship in the Indian Ocean and 100 miles from the Nimitz aircraft carrier strike group of the U.S. Navy. Iran's Revolutionary Guards test fired ballistic missiles against targets in the Indian Ocean as they wrapped up a 2-day exercise. The missiles of various classes targeted the enemy's battleships and destroyed them from 1,800 kilometers. Guards Chief Major General Hossein Salami and Aerospace Commander Brigadier General Amirali Hajizadeh One of our major goals in defense policies and strategies is to be able to target enemy ships, including aircraft carriers and battleships, using long-range ballistic missiles. Meanwhile, Iran fired cruise missiles Thursday as part of a naval drill in the Gulf of Oman, state media reported, amid heightened tensions with the U.S. Various kinds of surface-to-surface cruise missiles successfully hit their targets in the Gulf and northern part of the Indian Ocean, the report said. Enemies should know that any violation and invasion of Iranian marine borders will be targeted by the cruise missiles from both coast and sea, said Admiral Hamza Ali Kaviani. The two-day drill began Wednesday when the country's navy inaugurated its largest military vessel. The exercise takes place amid heightened tensions over Iran's nuclear program and a U.S. pressure campaign against the Islamic Republic. In recent weeks, Iran has increased its military drills. On Saturday, the paramilitary Revolutionary Guard held a naval parade in the Persian Gulf, and a week earlier Iran held a massive drone maneuver across half the country. President Donald Trump in 2018 unilaterally withdrew the U.S. from Iran's nuclear deal, in which Tehran had agreed to limit its uranium enrichment in exchange for the lifting of economic sanctions. Trump cited Iran's ballistic missile program among other issues in withdrawing. Following the U.S.'s reimposition of sanctions on Iran, Tehran gradually and publicly abandoned the deal's limits on its nuclear development as a series of escalating incidents pushed the two countries to the brink of war at the beginning of the year.